Granddaughter wants to say hi. You gonna say hi?
Hi.
Yeah. So how's it going, everybody? As usual, uh, let's say comment, like, subscribe on the channel. I'm actually going to continue to do these movie reviews. This is actually a re-upload for me because I had reviewed this movie a while back. The footage got messed up, so I had to do this one again. This one is actually uh, a movie I've been hearing about a lot. A lot of people have been saying movie of the year, top five movie, best movie of 2022. But what do I think of it? Well, let's tell you. So this is The Northman. It's directed by Robert Eggers, who he usually directs a lot of just more artsy type films. He directed The Lighthouse, starred Willem Dafoe, who's actually in this movie as well too, and Robert Pattinson. It was a black and white film, just straight in black and white. And then he had a movie called The Witch, called The Vivitch, starring Anya Taylor-Joy, who's also in this movie as well too. So what we have is Robert Eggers' his latest effort, The Northman. Stars, I believe his name is Alexander Skarsgård. Of course, as I've said, Anya Taylor-Joy's in here, Willem Dafoe, Ethan Hawke, Nicole Kidman. So we got a pretty star-studded cast going on here, and this is from a much smaller director, who so his movies don't gross very high necessarily, because his movies are not. I don't think his movies are necessarily for everybody, and this movie, honestly, to me, is no exception. So pretty much, this is a movie about a Viking. He's a boy. Uh, his father pretty much gets killed after, and it's not a spoiler. It happens in the first 5 minutes of the film. So his father pretty much gets killed. He's essentially going out to find revenge. His father's murder. Basically, that's the whole point of the movie. Is he's just going out to get revenge. And so what I like about this movie a lot is you could look at me and go like, well, it's a straightforward revenge film. And that might be very well true. The thing is, I like how Robert Eggers wrote and directed this, because the thing with this movie is it's not your typical revenge story necessarily. And again, it goes a lot over Valhalla. It gives you an insight into Norse mythology, and it shows you through visuals rather than just telling you. And that's where the artsy part comes in. So if you're not into like artsy, weird films, you're probably not even gonna like Robert Eggers, and you're definitely probably not gonna like this movie. This is my first Robert Eggers film I've ever watched, and I really, really thoroughly enjoyed it. This is, like I said, it is a revenge story through and through. So your character, and you gotta. The thing is with this type of film, you gotta think what time period it takes place back in. So there's no So I'll tell you right now, there are no conveniences in this. Like if the character looks like they're about to die in here, they're going to die in here. There's no getting out of it. So this movie is really brutal in that aspect. Even your main character, he does a lot of really questionable things. Because again, you have to consider the time back then, the rules. everything was a lot different. There was really not a whole lot of order. There wasn't a whole lot of regulation back then. So your character is going to your main character in this. He's going to do a lot of questionable things, and you're either with that or you're against that. And I was 100% with that. I do get tired sometimes of, and I write the same characters too. I'm a writer. I'm an author. Sometimes I write the same characters too, and I'm guilty of it. But it's just always nice to see that a character doesn't have a moral code. You know, when you watch this movie, what is a moral code in this movie? Like people do whatever they want in here. People just ravage lands in here just because they can, because they have the manpower and they have the manpower to do it. So they just go ahead and just do it without any repercussions. Like if your land's getting taken over, if your kingdom's getting taken over, it's because somebody can do it, and there's no such thing as it's the strongest survive essentially in this movie. It's not really so much like, oh, the good guy always prevails, and I think that's what I do like about this as well too, and that's what makes the reality of this movie kind of harsh. So if you're not into this movie being that harsh, you're probably not gonna like this neither, because this movie is rough. It doesn't hold back. It's rough. So I definitely enjoyed that. Of course, again, it's a Robert Eggers film. You know the actors are going to be really good in this. I thought everybody was pretty good in here. It just, I don't want to ruin too much about it because I feel like if I say too much, I'm going to ruin the narrative. But this is definitely a highly recommended film. If you have not seen The Northman, or you haven't even heard about it or anything like that, you should definitely check this movie out. This is a very high recommend film. I think it's streaming. I think it was streaming on HBO Max. Yeah, it's on HBO Max. So if you happen to have HBO Max, I would definitely check this out. This movie is definitely worth it. Again, I think the acting's really good. The sound is really good. I really like the sound design. Just everything in this is really good. It does have, like, again, it's weird artsy moments. It is a weird artsy film. So again, that might be a turn off if you're not into stuff like that. But this movie is definitely right up my alley. Probably go watch it again. I definitely want to see this one again. So, definitely a good time. And look forward to that as well. So, tell me what you thought of The Watchmen, The Northman, in the comments section. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. You saw this movie, thought, man, this movie sucks. What are you talking about? You don't know what you mean. Or maybe you're like me. Maybe you think this is a very good movie, highly underrated, and we probably need more movies like this one. This one's pretty good. So if you would, again, like, comment, subscribe below, and see you next video, everybody. Peace.